Hello, my name is Chris Oswald. I'm the director of Winnicott Evening High School, and I would like to welcome you to the Winnicott Evening High School graduation 2020. It certainly has been a challenging year. Nobody expected at the beginning of this year, not students, teachers, or administrators, that we would be faced with social distancing and have to learn quickly and firsthand what remote learning is all about. I'm extremely grateful and proud of the flexibility of our students and the tremendous work and effort by the evening high school teachers in order to make the remote learning of the past few months work. Not only were our teachers so committed to making this work, but we were all fortunate to have the support of Winnicott High School and SAU 21. Principal McGowan and his administrative team have always been committed to providing quality education to our evening high school students, but they have certainly gone above and beyond these past few months. I would certainly be amiss in also not recognizing the incredible job Superintendent Lupini and his team have done in guiding and supporting all of SAU 21 during these difficult months. Their devotion to quality education and their hard work has made SAU 21 a shining light in the state. I feel lucky and am very proud to work with such a dedicated and committed group of educators. I feel very lucky to be a part of this district. The real heroes here, of course, are the graduates. Many of these graduates had a difficult time to get here. For one reason or another, life interfered with their plans to have the perfect American high school experience. In a weird way, I guess it follows that back in March of this year, there was yet one more challenge for each of them to overcome before they could get on with the rest of their life. It doesn't matter that having done 3 months of remote learning, they now have bragging rights to say they lived through an historical event. What is more important is to note that every single one of them persevered. Remote learning was a challenge, but it was a challenge they met. I am proud of each of them for making it to the finish line, but I am additionally proud that they stuck with it through trying times. It has always been my practice at past graduations to say a little bit about each graduate's history as to what brought them to the evening school, as well as to talk about their hopes for the future and who they would like to thank for helping them get here. I saw no reason to let a little virus stop me from doing that again this year, so I will get right to it. Ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, let me tell you a little of the journeys of the wonderful young men and women of Winnicott Evening High School's class of 2020. Ryan Bork. Ryan joined the night school at the beginning of this school year. Ryan reached a point in his life where high school was something he wanted to complete and put behind him. Ryan did just that, and he finished up with his coursework earlier this year. Ryan is presently working as a forklift operator at Timberline. Ryan has long thought about a career in the Army, and he's still considering that for the future. If going into the Army is something that works for him, Ryan said that he would like to get into the infantry and then eventually into the National Guard. His long-term goal would be to eventually become a policeman. Ryan would like to thank his mom, his dad, and his grandmother for all of their help and support. Daniel Callahan. Daniel is a bright young man, but over time he found the size of the day school to be stressful and anxiety-producing for him. However, Daniel still had plans for his future. He was determined to get his diploma. Daniel enjoyed the smaller and informal classes of the evening school and really appreciated how the size of the classes allowed him to develop strong relationships with his teachers. Daniel said that attending night school helped him get back his confidence. Daniel plans to go on to college and major in criminal justice. Daniel would like to thank his parents, his family, and all of his friends who supported him through school. Daniel would also like to thank the teachers who understood his situation and helped him out. Kaitlin Casali. Katie came to the night school as she felt that other schooling options such as traditional day school and charter schools had not been a good fit. In 2018-19, Katie enrolled in the evening high school. She said that she initially had a lot of trepidation about joining the night school, but over her time with us, she made tremendous progress. I know it is with great pride that she receives her diploma. Katie is hoping to take a year off, work and make some money, then get into Job Corps. Katie would eventually like to pursue a career in welding. Katie would like to thank her parents for their support and would particularly like to thank Mrs. Waterhouse. Tiana, career. Tiana felt that she was falling behind in day school, yet Tiana knew that she wanted to finish high school and move on with the rest of her life. Tiana originally enrolled to prepare to take the HiSET, the New Hampshire High School Equivalency Exam. While in this program, Tiana always worked hard and was always here. However, at the end of last year, Tiana decided she wanted more. She wanted her diploma. So after a year of preparing to take the HiSET, Tiana switched gears and focused on getting her high school diploma. Tiana worked just as hard to get her diploma as she did to pass the HiSET. She has a lot to be proud of, and it's all hers. She worked hard, and all of her teachers are extremely proud of her. Tiana would like to work for a while and make some money. Eventually, she wants to go to school for radiologic technology. Tiana would like to thank her mom for always being there for her and never giving up. Tiana would also like to thank Mr. Durrow for always pushing her to do her work and getting her to understand that the hard work now will pay off for her future. Jakob, Kudou. Jake attended Winnicott High School for most of his high school career. Several years ago, in his senior year, Jake left and did not get his diploma. In the time since, Jake has been working. Last fall, Jake had an opportunity for promotion if he got his high school diploma. This was a no-brainer for Jake, as he always intended to go back and get his diploma. For the future, Jake has nothing but positive thoughts. Jake plans to continue to meet his goals and intends on taking advantage of a job benefit that provides him to take college courses. Another one of Jake's goals, and perhaps the most important, is to be there for his brother Seth, who is also graduating this year. Jake said that he does not want to see Seth make the same mistakes that he made. Jake wants to thank his girlfriend, Madison, for pushing him to finish up. Jake is also grateful to his mom, Becky, and Madison's parents for all their support. Seth Dalton. Seth struggled in day school. He tried hard and worked hard, but often the size of it was overwhelming. Yet Seth did not want to give up on his goal of getting a high school diploma. Seth and his mom decided that maybe going to the smaller night school setting would give him an avenue of success in getting his diploma. Seth was a model student. He is a hard worker, always got good grades, and is also one of the nicest students you'll ever meet. As testimony to Seth's hard work, he was able to graduate a year early. Seth plans on working for a year after graduation to make some money. He also wants to take this time to work on his music. Once he turns 18, Seth is interested in learning a trade, such as plumbing or electric, or going on to college to major in psychology. Seth wants to thank his mom, Becky, and his brother and fellow graduate, Jake, for pushing him to complete school. Seth is also grateful to all of his teachers, like Mr. Doherty from JAG, who helped him stay on track. Seth also wants to thank Mrs. Fazoko, his guidance counselor, for not only rearranging his schedule to be better suited to him, but was also there for him. Dillon Games. Dillon just got to the point where he wanted to finish up and move on. When it looked like finishing day school might take longer than Dillon initially anticipated, he decided to get his New Hampshire adult diploma. Dillon said that he liked how the structure of the evening school allowed him to organize and schedule his time better. Dillon was not a fan of the remote learning process, but felt that he did okay with it. His grades this past quarter support this. Dillon is planning to eventually go on to college and is hoping that in this process he can get an internship. Dillon would like to thank all of his teachers at Winnicott. Chris Hurst. Chris was not happy about his progress in day school and also saw himself falling behind. This is when he made the decision, after talking it over with his guidance counselor, Mrs. Fazoko, that finishing up in the evening school was his best choice. Chris notes that doing schoolwork was challenging in a remote learning environment, as it was often difficult for him to motivate himself to do the schoolwork. Chris wishes he did not have to end his high school career with remote learning, but is glad that he made it through. Chris already has plans for his future. He is planning on working in low voltage wiring for a year or two. Chris would like to thank all the teachers and administrators that helped him along the way. He would particularly like to thank his guidance counselor, Mrs. Fazoko, and also Mr. Groth and Mr. Stevens. Brandon LaValley. Brandon was in day school, but he was finding that he was short some credits for graduation with a day school diploma. After careful consideration, Brandon decided that the best way to keep his life on schedule was to get his adult diploma through the evening school. Brandon has also decided that in life, he does not want to trap himself in a box. Brandon is looking forward to getting on with his life. He would like to go to community college and major in computer programming. After getting his associate degree, Brandon would then like to transfer to a 4-year school to get his baccalaureate. Brandon would like to thank himself for getting him through, but he also would like to thank his parents for all their help and support. Oliver Klein. Oliver came to us in the beginning of the school year and started to prepare for taking the HiSET exam. Oliver felt that the drama and the size of the day school made it not for him. Oliver was not happy with his poor grades, so Oliver and his parents decided that taking the HiSET may give him the opportunity to move on with his life. Oliver proved to be very intelligent, and he quickly prepared and passed the HiSET exam. Oliver is hoping to go on to college and find a career that interests him and also allows him to make good money in the future. Oliver would like to thank his parents, his sister Cassidy, and his family and close friends. Scott Knowles. When Scott was in high school 8 years ago, I was an assistant principal at the time. Scott would spend a portion of most days in my office. High school was difficult for Scott. Eventually, Scott dropped out. He did try several times to complete school with a night school diploma, but it just never took. To make matters worse, Scott found himself getting into trouble in his community. As often happens, if you are a good person and you are lucky, you grow up. Scott did. Scott says it best as he explained to me why he came back to night school when he was 23. I needed to get it done. I needed a diploma. I did it for myself and my gram and grandfather. It's a big accomplishment for me, something I wanted to do. Sadly, Scott's grandfather passed away several years ago, but I know he would be proud of Scott. Myself and all of our staff certainly are. Scott now has a good job at SBS, the construction company. Scott says that he really enjoys working for them and that they are a company that treats him well. Suffice it to say, Scott sees his future in carpentry and with this company. This past year, Scott was able to join the union, Local 349. He excitedly told me that he can now plan for retirement with a pension and an annuity in 29 and a half years. Scott wants to thank his grandmother and grandfather for always being there for him over the years. Scott is also thankful to himself for finally making it. Scott also thanks his dad. Scott also noted that he wanted to thank his dog for not being mad at him for coming right to school after work and not spending more time at home. Sophia Langdon. Sophia started with the evening school in the latter half of this school year. As Sophia realized she was going to be short of credits for graduation from the day school, she felt that the best way for her to get on with her life and on time was to get a New Hampshire adult diploma. Although Sophia did find that the longer class periods could be trying, she did well and is ready to move on. Sophia is planning on going to community college for 2 years and then transferring to a 4-year college. Sophia plans on majoring in biotechnology and eventually would like to go into forensics. Sophia is grateful to her parents, friends, and teachers for their help through the years. Hunter Lawson. Hunter felt that day school was not the best for him. He did not like getting up in the morning, and to top it all off, he was not doing well in day school. However, Hunter did want his diploma. Night school proved to be a good option for Hunter. Hunter likes to work a lot, and attending night school allowed him to work during the day and finish his education at night. Hunter is presently going to welding school. He would eventually like to open up a metal fabrication company. Until he gets the money together, he plans on being a pipeline welder. Hunter is grateful to Desi Laniel for all his support. Hunter also wants to thank Mr. Durrow for all his help and support while Hunter was in both day and night school. Cole Livingston. Cole started his high school career at Timberlane High School and was there for 3 years. Cole always liked school. However, when he moved to Hampton Falls and started attending Winnicott, he found the adjustment to be difficult. Cole found himself falling behind in his classes, and at this point, he felt that night school would be the best path for him. One of the more positive things for Cole about this move was that it allowed him to focus on what he does well, and that is, he likes to work. Going to night school allowed him to work more and make some money. The love of working should serve Cole well in his future. In the immediate future, Cole plans to continue working, driving a truck, and doing cleanup work for his dad's company, Livingston Family Tree Service. Cole ultimately has his sights on going to the New Hampshire Trade School here in Hampton. He is hoping to start next year and would like to major in either becoming an electrician or a plumber. Cole would like to thank his parents and his stepmother for all their help and support. Brady Mansfield. Brady is a very likable person. His mom would tell you that Brady's teachers have always said that about him. However, it was because he was so well liked that it made it difficult to accept when he was a little slow in getting his work done. However, the good news is that common sense always came forward for Brady. It's just that it often did not happen as quickly as his teachers would have liked. Nonetheless, Brady has always been a young man who knew what he wanted. He loaded up on classes this year so he could be sure and continue with the next phase of his military career. I say the next phase as Brady has already done 10 weeks of boot camp last summer at the end of his junior year. He is a determined young man. Our country is lucky to have young men such as Brady. Brady is grateful to his mom for all her help and support. Matt Manfredonia. Matt joined the night school at the beginning of the school year. Matt said he decided to pursue the New Hampshire Adult Diploma as he felt it was a better choice for his education and it allowed him to get away from the drama of the day school. Matt said he liked the opportunity that the evening school gave him to work more during the day and make some money. In addition, Matt appreciated the small and informal classes and felt this allowed him to develop good relationships with his teachers. Matt felt that there was not the same stress in the evening school that he felt in the day school. Matt says that he would eventually like to go to college and major in computer programming. Matt is grateful to his parents for all their support and help over the years. Joe Moreno. Joe has been working full-time for some time now. Several months ago, Joe decided to act on his realization that in order for him to move on in a career and get a better position, he needed his diploma. Joe only had one class to do, but Joe proved to be a model student. He always showed up in the class's online meetings and did his work on time. Joe enjoyed the fact that the classes were at night and not during the day, as he describes himself as not a morning person. Plus, he says, going to school at night allowed him to work more and save more money. For the immediate future, Joe would like to keep working hard and continue to save some money. Joe is thankful to his mom for all her help and support. Anthony Meyer. Anthony was not being successful in day school, yet Anthony is very bright and he wanted to move on with his life. So he decided to work on passing the HiSET exam. Anthony started with us last year and almost finished last year, but was not able to get all of the testing in before the school year ended. Anthony took some time off from studying for the HiSET last fall, but knew he needed to finish it up, and he came back this past January. It did not take him long to get back up to speed, and within 2 months, he had passed all of the HiSET exams. Anthony now has a good job with decent pay and benefits. For his immediate future, he would like to rent an apartment, save some money, and someday continue on to a community college. Anthony would like to thank his family, his guidance counselor, Mr. Spinney, and his teachers. Jonathan Odie. Jonathan said that he wishes he had made better decisions when he was younger. But Jonathan, like so many young adults, reached a point when he knew he just needed to put those regrets behind him and just move on. When Jonathan enrolled in the evening school at the start of this year, he did just that. He moved on. Jonathan's determination and commitment has made him a pleasure to have in our classes, and the successful grades he has gotten while here is testimony to that. For the future, Jonathan is hoping to continue working with his dad. Jonathan notes that now that he has his diploma, he can join the electricians union and become an apprentice. Jonathan would like to thank his mom and dad and his grandfather, Al. Jakob Parkinson. Jakob started in the evening program last year. Jakob came to the evening school when he recognized that he was having trouble in day school, and it became apparent that he would have difficulty graduating on time. Jakob appreciated that the evening school allowed him to work full-time and make more money. Jakob also liked the small and informal class sizes and enjoyed the good relationships he developed with his teachers. For the future, Jakob is hoping to continue working and making some money. Eventually, he would like to look into community college or the Job Corps. Jakob has expressed an interest in working for the U.S. Postal Service. Jakob would like to thank his mom and dad. They motivated him to go back to school. William Pearson. Billy struggled with academics in day school, and Bill started to become concerned that he was not going to graduate day school. Billy entered the evening school at the start of this school year. I am happy and proud to report that since that time, Billy has gotten A's and B's. Billy said that he liked the longer classes and also having one class per night. For the future, Billy is looking into becoming a firefighter. For the immediate future, Billy is planning on working during the summer, probably in construction or landscaping with his grandfather's company. Billy would like to thank his mom, his grandmother, and all of his family for all their help and support. Rhiannon Phillips. Health issues made it difficult for Rhiannon to keep attending day school. However, Rhiannon is a bright young lady and she still had her goals. Rhiannon and her mom looked into her working towards passing the HiSET exam and liked what they saw. As it turned out, preparing for the HiSET exam was a good fit for Rhiannon as she passed the HiSET exam several months ago. For the immediate future, Rhiannon has her sights set on getting her license and getting a job to make some money. However, Rhiannon has already started looking at college programs as this is eventually where she wants to end up. Rhiannon is extremely grateful to her family and friends for convincing her to go to the evening school. She is also so thankful to them for all the help and support they have given her. Cody Quigley. Cody joined the evening school this school year. Cody said that he joined the evening school program because he wanted to further his education, go on to college, and get a good career. Cody said that he enjoyed the stress-free, small and informal atmosphere of the evening school. Cody is hoping to go to college and have a major which involves both graphic design and digital design. Cody would like to thank his teachers for being very supportive and understanding of everything that goes on in life. Harmony Rowe. Harmony started with our evening program last year. Harmony is a quiet and polite young lady who was willing to work hard at her coursework. Harmony just kept plugging along to do what she had to do. Harmony finished up during the first quarter of this year. Harmony is not sure what the future holds for her, but knowing her pleasant and hardworking nature, I am sure she will be successful at whatever she attempts. Harmony is grateful to her mom and her friends for all their help and support. Jonathan Savely. Jonathan reached the conclusion this year that day school was not working for him. Like so many of our students, Jonathan came to the realization that getting a New Hampshire adult diploma was his best bet to finish up with high school in a timely manner. Jonathan said that he enjoyed the evening school. Jonathan made a lot of good friends and connected with a lot of older friends. Jonathan also appreciated how helpful the teachers were. Jonathan is considering 2 careers for his future. He is considering cosmetology for its consistent flow of money versus real estate, which he feels would give him big bursts of money. Jonathan would like to thank Ms. French, his evening school U.S. history teacher. He felt Ms. French had the right personality for a teacher. That is, very accepting. Jonathan also wants to thank his sister Catherine. Catherine is his rock. She really keeps him down to earth. Caleb Tyrel. Caleb realized about halfway through the year that he was not going to have enough credits to graduate from the day school this year. Not wishing to put his life on hold for another year, Caleb opted to get his New Hampshire adult diploma and finish up this year. Caleb liked the evening school. Caleb said that not being a morning person having classes at night worked for him. He also liked the small and informal nature of the evening school classes and enjoyed the lack of stress and drama in the evening school. For the immediate future, Caleb is focused on working and making some money. However, Caleb would like to go on to college and get a degree in either graphic design or advertising. Caleb would like to thank his mom and dad and his friends for always being there for him. Jamison Weeks. Jamison said he came to the night school because he felt that in the long run it was the best option for him. I think just about all of his teachers would agree with him. I can honestly say that all of Jamison's teachers have commented how much they enjoyed having him in class. Jamison was admired for always getting involved in class discussion and having thoughtful and insightful comments to make. Jamison enjoyed the evening schedule for his classes and also appreciated the comfortable size of the classes, the open discussion with his teachers and his classmates, and the lack of stress and drama at the evening school. For now, Jamison wants to focus on making some money next year and eventually would like to pick up a trade. Jamison is grateful to his family and his girlfriend for all their help and support. That is just a little background on this year's graduates. However, I know all of their stories will continue. I wish them all happiness and good luck. Congratulations to the Winnacunnet Union High School class of 2020.